Alright guys, so here we are with another how-to. Today I am going to be redoing a gasket inside of the air filter housing, and I am also going to be doing two fresh hoses on the carburetor because I noticed that on one side there was a small crack in the hose, and it is connected to almost like an oil bypass, and that oil is beginning to leak over and onto the side of the carburetor. So I got the new hoses and the new gasket from JP Cycles. I'll show you guys those in a bit, but for right now I'm going to be showing you exactly whereabouts these two hoses are, and once I take the air filter off, I'll show you where the gasket is going to be going. Alright, so now I'm going to be showing you guys exactly where these two hoses are. If you can kind of see already, right in here there is one hose, and this is the one that is of my concern. I did just notice that there was some grime and kind of oil on the side of this. The other one is perfect, but I just said, well, I might as well switch both of them out while I'm in there. Here's the other one. Try to get in there. There's one right there and one back in there. This is right in front of the carburetor and behind the air filter. This is a big sucker kit, and this is the hose that I'm mainly concerned about. You can see all the oily residue on there, and just junk spilling around. Okay guys, so here's my package from JP Cycles. This is a new air filter mount gasket. I have a 2002 Dyna lowrider, and here is the information on that. Make sure if you guys are going to be changing out this gasket, you get some of these part numbers, and you can just tap it into the JP Cycles website and these things pop right back up. And then here are the new hoses. They have a unique Z shape to them, or S shape, however you want to say it. And here is the SKU number to those. Rubber air cleaner breather tube. Again, I have a 2002 Dyna lowrider. There's some of the information on there. There's a SKU number for you guys. JP Cycles coming through. Fast shipping. Got these in like 2 days. Thank you, JP Cycles. Okay guys, so I'm going to get right to it. I have the Arlen S cover for mine. This is a K&N air filter. Again, a big sucker air kit. I have a 3/16 Allen or hex key. And then these three bolts right here are going to be 5/32, They're just these little tiny guys right here. There's 3 of them. Remove those. And so you can see right here, this thing is even dripping a little bit of oil here. Some of that is coming from these hoses right here. It's supposed to blow off from this little bolt right here. There's a connection that comes in here and is supposed to blow by here and eventually burn off kind of this bad stuff. But this hose on this opposite side is just torn and it's getting all over the side of the carburetor. I don't really like that. So that's what I am going to be addressing right now. Alright, so right now I'm going to be taking these breather bolts out. There's 2 of them. Let me show you this. There's one right here and one right here. That is exactly what these hoses are connected to. There's one back there, and it comes through here, the inside of the carb. This bolt, breather bolt, is a 3/4. I'm just going to use the close end so I don't mar anything. And I'm just going to keep breaking these loose. Once you break those loose, it's pretty easy. Just loosen them with your hand. So these are breather bolts. They have a small hole inside, or in the center of the bolt. And then there's this little hole right here, so you gotta align this, make sure it's aligned. That way, well, actually you don't have to make sure they're aligned. There's a gap here for that, but that's kind of what goes, that allows that blow by into this hose right here and allows it to go in the carburetor and get burnt off. So I'm going to take the other one off. Now these back plates should be able to move freely. Watch out, because there's a couple spacers or washers. This one, there's 3. There's 3 of them. There was 1 in the front and 2 in the rear. Just make sure that you're watching out for those. I'm going to take this other one off. And I'm just going to wiggle this hose out. And there we are. So here's the actual part number for this. It is 29476-99. I mean, you can kind of see I tried to like do a quick fix. This thing's pretty torn up. Obviously this thing didn't work. These were leaking everywhere. So yes, this is what I'm addressing on this. Get this going. I'm gonna wiggle the other one out. Again, you can kind of tell this one's getting pretty worn too. It was time for them to be replaced. Alright, so now to get to the gasket that's behind this plate, I'm just going to be removing all three of these little grabs. 3 bolts. This is 1/2 inch. Just making sure, 1/2 inch. And then this plate should just slide right off. So, I mean, look at this. I'm glad that I checked this. This thing was getting pretty worn out. I mean, it was probably okay. It, did tear when I pulled away, but it's real hard and just needing to be replaced. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cleaning all this off. There's a little piece stuck on here. I want to make sure that's all nice and clean. Maybe just take a little bit of sandpaper to it. Just kind of freshen up the edge. And show you that in a second. All right, so I got a little pick and some sandpaper. This is 320 grit. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape this little stuff off. Make sure that you get all this stuff off, because if not, you're not going to have a nice flat surface, and that new gasket's going to have trouble sealing. Might actually get a flathead screwdriver. That'll scrape a little bit better. Stuff's kind of stuck on there. There we go. Get all that stuff off there. Clean the mating surfaces. You can kind of see there's still a little bit right here also. do a light sand. And clean. Alright, so next step 2 is make sure that this mating surface is also clean. As you can see, there's still a little bit of gasket stuck to this part of it. Get this little residue out of there. I will be wiping this stuff down with some brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner also before I install it all back. Take your sandpaper. Just go all around just for good measure. Make sure it's nice and clean. There's none left over. That should be good to go. Look at that. Okay, so now it's time to just open up the package for the hoses. I'm gonna pull these out. Just make sure I get the right orientation on these. So just gonna make sure they're the correct size. Take this one off. Make sure that they're the right size. Take it off. And clean these bolts up. Just give them a nice little wipe down. Nice and clean again. Press this back in. Make sure it's all the way seated. There's that one. And now for the other one, take that one off. Again, give this thing a nice wipe down. go. Alright, so now it's time to put these hoses back on to the plate. Real easy. Just push them in all the way. These will go like this. Make sure that the hose is not pinched. Really easy to just press these in. Just give it a little wiggle. Should be sticking out like this. Pull. And again, just check it. Make sure they're not pinched. That way their hoses are free flowing. Looks nice, looks good. Alright, let's get this gasket back on here, back to the mating surface, and get these breather bolts back in, get it all mounted back up. Alright guys, so let's go in reverse order. I'm going to be putting this new gasket. I'm just gonna line it up. On these bolts that are going back in, I will be putting a little bit of Loctite. Start this one off. There we go. Already got the Loctite on this one. Half inch. Now we're going to get ready to put these breather bolts back on. Straighten this back out. Remember, there's 2 washers behind, 1 washer in front of this, 2 washers in the back. Got that one pretty nice and started. I'm gonna put the other one in. Again, 2 washers in the rear. Making sure these lines are not getting pinched. Make sure you don't tighten this one all the way down so you have some wiggle room, or vice versa, either side. Putting these breather bolts back in. Okay, so now that I've hand tightened them, I'm going to just be, I'll continue to hand tighten them a little bit more. They're all aligned. Again, making sure that these hoses are not pinched. They're not going to twist. Tighten these 2 breather bolts. Nice and snug. Alright. I am going to just double check these now that the breather bolts are in. Okay. We'll put the air filter back on. Oops, wrong one. again, these are 5/32. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't like to put any Loctite on these. I figure if they did fall out, they'd get caught by the plate. Again, if you want to hit me up in the comments, maybe if you know better than I just had a buddy, someone put some red Loctite on them. He had to cut these off, get all new bolts, all new filter. Kind of a mess. I broke a tool T25 on it. So I'm just going to snug these up. Boom. Okay, and then here's the R&S. Make sure that this thing is still intact. Press that on. Make sure it's all aligned how you want it. And on this bolt, I will be putting some Loctite. Alright, so that concludes our installation of our new breather hoses and gasket. Fairly simple to do, just an quick, easy maintenance. You can see the new hose right there, nice and clean. Boom. Looking good. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. If you see that I did anything wrong, especially when I was asking about that blue Loctite on some of those bolts, go ahead and reach out to me in the comments. I will be leaving the descriptions on those two parts. I did do a new gasket and those two hoses, the breather hoses. I'll put the numbers in the description. Make sure you look for those if this is something that you guys are trying to replace. Fairly easy, guys, really easy to do. I'd say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts that you take out, and mainly the hoses, you're just pressing them in. No special tools needed for this at all. Just really easy to do. Thank you guys again for watching. Again, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to Julio's Barber Garage.